I learned Neuro-Semantics in 2007, and until now I still learn Neuro-Semantics because Neuro-Semantics is growing, always growing, and some people who find a way how to develop themselves, to make themselves grow, have better communications, better decisions, better performance, self-motivated, self-led, and make their teams unleash their potentials. Ask me about what neurosemantic is and what is difference between neurosemantics and NLP. And fortunately today we have Dr. L. Michael Hall, the inventor, the founder and the developer of Neuro-Semantics, so we can have answer directly from him.
Probably the simplest way to explain neurosemantics is that it is the meanings that we have in life, the meanings and the values, and then how we transform those into performances.
Okay.
And so we perform our meanings, and whatever anybody does is a performance of some meaning. It may not be a good meaning or a useful meaning or effective, but performing some meaning. And so what we do in neurosemantics is to look at the meanings and then find a way to perform it, helping people develop new skills and competencies.
Okay, what neurosemantics add on NLP? Because I said to friends that neurosemantics is NLP, but how neurosemantics reach the NLP?
So NLP began probably as the simplest version to run your own brain.
Okay.
And if you can run your own brain, then you can manage your states. And so it began as a psychological method for how do we function as we function, and what would be a strategy. So NLP focuses on the strategy for getting up in the morning, the strategy for delegating things at work, the strategy for selling. And so it looked at the step-by-step structure of how human experience works, and focuses mostly on behaviors. There is the internal state, there are the beliefs, but that's about it for NLP. And so what we've done in neurosemantics is to realize that there's layers of thought upon thought. We talk about it as self-reflexivity, that you think about your thinking and you feel about your feeling. And these create layers of a mental map that define how we understand reality. And oftentimes when things aren't going right, the problem is upstairs. It's in this inner game, and once we correct that, then the outer game becomes easy.
So, in what area neurosemantics can use?
Well, most generally, it's probably best for personal development, growing, finding and unleashing your potentials. And amazingly, most of us don't know our potentials. We know there's more, but we don't know what, and we don't know how to find it and unleash it. And so that's probably the very heart of neurosemantics. We spend more time on that. And that will have applications for leaders, that will have applications for being in a family and loving your partner, for parenting. Just about anything you do, if you can identify what needs to be adjusted, then the unleashing of our potentials and then becoming the best version of us.
Even for politics?
For even politics, although we haven't gone very far in this field to tap into that area of politics.
And in corporation, in company, how neurosemantics can help this company become more formed?
So if meaning drives everything, and then we ask the question, in this organization or that organization, what is the meaning that's driving everything? And if it's only money, then the problem is it's the organization is only serving the stakeholders, not the employees, not even the customers. And so it's going to be a driven pressure organization, money, and forgetting that these are human beings and helping them grow and develop and love being there, Because if they hate being there, and if they resist being there, then you got all kinds of internal problems at an organization.
Yeah, it makes sense to me because the neurosemantics is how we operate as people. So business is about people, serve people, run by people. So
Yeah.
we need neurosemantics.
Yeah.
In spiritual, I feel that neurosemantics help me to understand, to make sense the spirituality. I remember that you mentioned about the Maslow hierarchy when we get to being needs.
Yeah.
It's a transcendence. There's transcendence is there.
Yeah.
So how how amazing that neurosemantics relate to spirituality. Can you elaborate it?
Yeah. So building so much upon Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers and the humanistic movement, and looking at that hierarchy and the fact that the first 4 levels helps us just to thrive and to survive as human beings, with the survival, safety, love and affection, and in self. And once we accomplish that, it's like all of us have the question, what else is there? And that's when Maslow said that's when the human values begin. Meaning and beauty and order and contribution and making a difference and justice and all of those higher being values, wisdom. And when we transcend out of that animal realm of the lower needs, then we get into the human needs, and now we're asking, how am I treating my fellow man? Am I being kind and loving? Am I being considerate? Am I using people? Or am I hopefully living a life that is, my legacy is going to leave the world a little bit better than when I entered it?
And since NLP and Neuro-Semantics is a child of human potential movement and it become a part of a positive psychology. Why, until now, even psychologists say that Neuro-Semantics or NLP is a pseudoscience. Is it right or wrong?
Well, people who say that really don't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
NLP came out of the cognitive psychology movement of George Miller and Chomsky, and they were the 2 founders of the cognitive psychology movement, and NLP based the strategy model on what George Miller did and the linguistic model on what Chomsky did with transformational grammar. So someone who says it's pseudoscience, either they have found an NLP person who is kind of a bad apple out on the side doing just new age stuff and his own thing. But the content itself comes out of several psychologies. First and foremost, cognitive psychology, then Gestalt therapy, then family systems, and then Milton Erickson's medical hypnosis. So it's got lots of research, and there's just paper after paper after paper, dissertation after dissertation that's been done in many, many languages.
Neuro-Semantics, especially you, in a year will be on the several countries to spread this Neuro-Semantics. So what is your vision about Neuro-Semantics in the future?
So psychology seems to be kept into the academic realm, and then when people try to translate it into something practical and useful for everyday living, for families or for organizations, it gets really stripped down, and a lot of times the best stuff never gets translated out. And that's really what we're trying to do in Neuro-Semantics, taking the best stuff and not needing to do all the academic, but how does this show up in the way you think and the way you feel, how you talk, how you behave? What can we learn from psychology that's going to enable us to unleash potential? Or if it's in the field of therapy, how can we help people be whole and be healed of the wounds that are inside? And so that's my focus, trying to give it credibility and translating really what people need to know about human psychology, human functioning.
And what is the core of Neuro-Semantics value?
The core, good question. Where my mind goes in answer to that is we're helping people be self-determined. We don't need more people dependent and looking for some guru. We want to help people understand their own values and their beliefs and live congruently and with integrity to their own self. So probably the core is helping people grow up, get rid of cognitive distortions and things, and become self-determining. And if we do that, and if that spreads, I think governments will respond. Because to have a good democracy, you've got to have informed, intelligent people who feel like they have a voice and who can use their voice. And that'll be true in politics. It'll be true in organizations. And so we think of neurosemantics as changing people one person at a time, one conversation at a time, helping people become self-determined.
That's why my alumni said that Neuro-Semantics is practical, deep, but in fact impactful. Well, my friends, if you want to have further information, further questions, just contact me or contact Edi Magna, and we will give you something valuable for you. Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, my pleasure.
For this.
My pleasure. Thank you.